The starship's engines hummed a low, steady note as it descended into the alien outpost's atmosphere. Dust swirled in spirals beneath the landing pads, reflecting the twin suns in golden streaks. Onlookers, creatures of all shapes, sizes, and colors, gathered along the high platforms, their eyes glowing with curiosity and barely concealed amusement. They whispered among themselves in strange clicks and musical tones, pointing at the lone human who had stepped onto the pad. The human was small, lean, and unarmed, carrying only a crate. Its surface was scratched and worn, the corners battered as if it had seen countless journeys. At the human's side moved a creature unlike anything the onlookers had ever seen. Its fur shimmered silver in the sunlight, eyes bright with intelligence and awareness. At first glance it seemed harmless, almost pet-like. Many aliens snorted in derision. "The human brings a toy," one said in a low rumble. "How amusing." The human ignored them, moving with calm confidence. Every step was measured, deliberate, as if the platform itself acknowledged that it was walking into a storm. The companion padded silently beside the human, its claws barely touching the metal surface, yet the air around it seemed to vibrate with tension. Some aliens leaned back, sensing something they could not name, something wrong with their assumptions. A large alien officer, scales glinting like polished bronze, stepped forward. Its voice boomed across the plaza. "State your purpose here, human. This is not your territory. You are far from your primitive world." Its gaze flicked briefly to the companion. "And what is that? A harmless creature, I assume?" The human knelt slightly, opening the crate. Inside was a bundle of mechanical devices and supplies, neatly arranged, and a small medkit for the companion. "I'm here to assist," the human said simply, voice calm but firm. Nothing more. Nothing less. There was no arrogance, only quiet certainty. The officer's eyes narrowed. "Assist? Do you expect us to trust a species that barely survived its own planet's wars?" Laughter echoed from the crowd. "You're soft. Wait. This creature is just a decoration, nothing more." The human did not respond immediately. Instead, the companion shifted slightly, its body coiling like a spring. The air around it tightened, almost as if the atmosphere itself recognized danger. A murmur ran through the crowd, a mixture of unease and disbelief. The aliens had no experience with such restraint paired with lethal potential. A young alien, smaller and more daring than the others, stepped close. "Let me see it," it demanded, reaching for the creature. The human's eyes flicked to the young alien, sharp and unreadable. "Do not," the human warned, voice low. The companion growled, a sound so deep it seemed to vibrate through the bones of everyone nearby. The young alien froze. Its appendages twitched, uncertain, and slowly withdrew. "You see," the human said, standing upright, "assumptions can be dangerous." The crowd shifted uneasily. Whispers turned into cautious silence. The companion's eyes glowed brighter, reflecting the twin suns, its body tensed like a coiled predator waiting for the signal. No one dared approach again. The officer's expression hardened. "This is a warning. Your species is tiny, fragile. You will not survive here if you provoke the wrong beings." He motioned to the guards surrounding the plaza. "Keep your companion restrained." The human tilted its head slightly, lips curling into a faint smile. "I never planned to provoke anyone," the human replied. "But I will not allow harm to come to what protects me." Its hand rested briefly on the companion's head. The creature pressed against the human, low and silent, a predator disguised as a companion. A sudden explosion rocked the outer platform. Sparks flew as a cargo ship collided with a nearby landing dock. Aliens screamed and scrambled, and the officer barked orders. The human did not flinch. Instead, it crouched slightly, eyes scanning the chaos. The companion's muscles coiled like a spring, tail flicking. It moved faster than the eye could follow, leaping over debris and knocking aside falling metal beams to clear a path for humans nearby. Screams turned to gasps. "Impossible!" the officer shouted, gripping the edge of the platform. That creature, how?" The human's voice carried over the clamor. "Judging strength by size is a mistake. Calm. Controlled. Certain." The creature returned to the human's side, settling as if nothing had happened, but the entire outpost had seen its power. Respect, fear, and curiosity rippled through the crowd. By the time the dust settled, the humans had claimed their small corner of the outpost, but the whispers continued. "The human, the companion, they are not what we expected." Eyes darted nervously to the silver-furred creature. Officers muttered under their breaths, recalling old legends of beasts capable of destroying entire fleets. Yet here it was, calm, obedient, and utterly lethal. The human surveyed the plaza, companion at side. The eyes of hundreds of aliens followed them, some with contempt, some with fear. A quiet promise lingered in the air: underestimating a human, and their companion, would be a costly mistake. And the galaxy had just received its first warning. The morning light spilled across the outpost like liquid gold, reflecting off metal walls and glass domes. Aliens moved with disciplined purpose, performing routine drills and maintenance. The human walked calmly among them, companion at their side, eyes scanning the perimeter. No one approached now. The earlier display had silenced curiosity and replaced it with cautious respect. Still, tension lingered in the air, like a storm waiting to strike. Suddenly, a shrill alarm blared through the outpost. Red lights pulsed violently, throwing sharp shadows across the plaza. Aliens froze mid-step, their movements jerky and anxious. A monstrous roar echoed from the docking bay, a sound so guttural and alien that it made the platform vibrate underfoot. From the hangar, a creature emerged. Towering over even the largest aliens, it moved with terrifying fluidity, its armored hide glinting under the sun. Its claws gouged the ground, leaving deep scars, and its teeth, sharp and jagged, gleamed like molten steel. "Contain it!" shouted the officer from yesterday, his scales bristling with panic. Guards scrambled to deploy energy nets and plasma barriers, but the creature was fast, faster than their calculations allowed. It lashed out, knocking aside shields as if they were paper. Aliens screamed and scattered, some tripping over the debris of abandoned crates. Fear rippled through the crowd, a wave the human recognized instantly. The human's eyes narrowed. "Stay back," they called, voice calm yet firm. The companion shifted, muscles rippling under sleek fur, tail flicking with precise intention. It padded forward, slow and deliberate, letting the larger creature make the first move. The monster lunged, jaws wide, aiming for a guard frozen in terror. In a blur, the companion sprang, striking the creature with a force that sent it staggering backward. Sparks flew as claws collided with armored plating. The human's calm eyes followed every movement, calculating, predicting, reading patterns that no alien could perceive. "Impossible!" cried one officer, backing away. "It shouldn't be able to fight it." The companion moved with lethal grace, dodging strikes and landing blows with precision. Each impact was calculated, each counter measured. The monstrous beast roared in fury, swinging its tail like a battering ram, but the companion leaped with uncanny timing, striking joints and weak spots. Aliens fell back, jaws open, unsure whether to scream or watch in awe. The human stepped forward, hand extended, as if guiding the companion in a silent rhythm. The beast hesitated, sensing not only the companion's skill but the human's unwavering command. It attacked again, faster, more desperate, and the companion responded with a speed that blurred its form. Metal cracked, and the ground quaked beneath the force of the blows. "Hold position," the officer barked, trying to regain authority, but the human's display had stolen the attention of every eye in the plaza. Aliens whispered in disbelief. It's not a pet," one muttered. "It's a weapon." The beast roared again, throwing a massive claw toward the human. Without flinching, the human stepped aside, almost lazily, as the companion intercepted, slamming the creature into the wall. The impact sent dust and debris flying, a cloud that hung in the air like smoke from a fire. The monster struggled to rise, panting and furious. Its eyes darted between the human and the companion, realizing it was not facing a simple target but a coordinated force it could not dominate. "Stay close," the human whispered, almost inaudible. The companion crouched, muscles tensing like a spring, ready for the final strike. The beast lunged one last time, jaw snapping. The companion met it head-on, claws raking through armor plating, teeth sinking into a joint with precision. A final roar split the air as the beast collapsed, unable to rise. Silence fell instantly, broken only by labored breathing and distant sirens. Aliens emerged from their hiding spots, eyes wide with a mixture of awe, fear, and disbelief. Some dropped to one knee, whispering prayers to deities they had long ignored. "The human, the companion," murmured a technician, voice trembling. "I've never seen anything like it." The officer approached, his massive frame tense. "Explain this," he demanded, pointing toward the defeated beast. "How can a creature of that size and strength be defeated by that?" He gestured at the companion, which now sat quietly beside the human, its fur glinting and muscles relaxed as if nothing had happened. The human looked at the officer calmly. "It's not about size or raw strength," they said. It's about understanding, timing, and knowing your enemy. The companion pressed against the human's leg, purring, a sound so deep it resonated in the chest of everyone nearby. It was a predator in repose, a lethal force disguised in silver fur, and the aliens could sense it instantly. A murmur ran through the crowd. Respect replaced fear, though unease lingered. Even the officer, reluctant as he was, took a step back. Perhaps we misjudged humans, he admitted, voice low. Perhaps we underestimated their companions. The human picked up the crate they had brought, dusting off the edges. We're here to work, they said. Not to fight. But know this, those who threaten me or what I protect will meet the same fate. Their eyes met the officer's, unflinching. The message was clear. This human and their companion were not to be trifled with. As the crowd dispersed, whispers followed them. Stories would spread throughout the galaxy about the human who commanded a beast that could defeat monsters twice its size. Fear, curiosity, and respect entwined into a single, unshakable fact. The galaxy had underestimated humans, and the first test had only just begun. The outpost still hummed with the aftershock of the previous battle. Aliens whispered in tight clusters, glancing nervously at the human and the companion, whose silver fur shimmered in the midday sun. Calm and poised, the human inspected equipment in the landing bay, crate opened, hands moving with precision. The companion padded quietly around, alert, ears twitching at every sound. Neither of them seemed to notice the uneasy glances from nearby officers. Suddenly, a sharp, piercing alarm cut through the air. Red lights flashed violently, bathing the plaza in blood-colored urgency. A cargo transport had been hijacked, spiraling out of control toward the edge of the docking platform. Explosions rocked the hangars, sending debris scattering like deadly hail. Aliens shouted orders, but panic had already begun to take root. "Get clear," the officer shouted, voice strained as he gestured to the fleeing technicians. "We need containment units now." The human did not run. Instead, they crouched low, eyes scanning the chaos. The companion tensed beside them, muscles coiled and eyes fixed on the approaching danger. The transport crashed onto the platform, its cargo pod ripped open. Out spilled mechanical drones, advanced, sleek, and hostile, designed to capture, attack, and immobilize. They moved with terrifying coordination, aiming directly for the human and their companion. "They came for us," the human muttered under their breath, voice calm yet urgent. "Stay sharp." The companion leaped forward, a blur of silver and muscle, intercepting the first wave of drones. Sparks flew as claws struck metal, sending pieces flying into the air. The drone's blasters fired, blue plasma bolts scorching the ground, yet the companion moved with uncanny speed, dodging each shot while striking lethal blows. Aliens froze in awe. "It can't, how is it so fast?" one cried. The humans sprinted toward the collapsing docks, crates slung over their shoulder. Their mind calculated trajectories, escape paths, and timing with effortless precision. A second wave of drones emerged from the transport, surrounding them, cutting off retreat. The human darted between obstacles, leaping over smashed crates, sliding under jagged metal beams, all while keeping the companion in sync. "Watch your flank," a panicked officer yelled. "They'll overwhelm you." The human's lips curled into a faint, determined smile. "Not today," they muttered. Their companion responded instantly, leaping onto a hovering drone, tearing through its chassis with a savage precision that made even the bravest alien's stomach twist. Sparks erupted like miniature fireworks, illuminating the intensity of the chase. The platform groaned under the weight of collapsing structures. Smoke and dust clouded the air, stinging eyes and nostrils. Alien technicians struggled to stabilize the area, but the human did not hesitate. They vaulted onto a tilted landing ramp, using the incline to gain momentum, while the companion sprinted alongside with lethal grace. From above, a massive transport drone hovered, preparing to fire its disruptor cannons. The humans spotted it, calculating its angle and timing. "Now," they shouted. The companion launched itself straight at the drone, claws embedding into its hull. Sparks showered down as it tore circuits apart. The drone spiraled out of control, crashing into a distant hangar in a brilliant explosion that echoed across the outpost. The remaining drones converged, forming a tight circle. The human raised one hand, holding a small device from the crate. A pulse emitted, short and sharp. Drones froze, then collapsed, systems disabled by a shockwave. Silence fell momentarily, punctuated only by the human's steady breathing and the companion's low growl. Aliens emerged cautiously from cover, eyes wide, jaws slack. "Incredible," one technician whispered. It wasn't just strength, it was strategy, coordination, intelligence beyond measure. The officer approached, struggling to maintain authority. Explain yourselves. How did you survive that? His voice wavered, betraying both fear and awe. The human glanced at the officer, expression calm and unreadable. Survival isn't about size or firepower. It's about reading the battlefield, anticipating moves, and trusting the one who fights beside you. Their hand rested briefly on the companion's head, and the creature pressed back, purring softly, a predator that had just destroyed a small army, yet remained a companion in repose. The crowd of aliens shifted uneasily. Murmurs spread like wildfire. The human, the silver creature, they move as one. It's impossible to predict them. Some took a cautious step back, others leaned forward, unable to look away. Even seasoned soldiers felt a chill run down their spines. A distant explosion reminded them that this was only the beginning. Reinforcements from the hijacked transport were already arriving, faster and more numerous. The humans scanned the horizon, eyes narrowing. More are coming, they said quietly. We move before they surround us. The companion leaped onto the human's shoulder, crouching low, muscles tensed for action. Together, they darted toward a maintenance tunnel, disappearing into the shadowed corridors of the outpost. Behind them, the drones regrouped, unaware that their prey had already vanished from sight, leaving a trail of awe, fear, and disbelief in their wake. The aliens watched silently, understanding for the first time that these humans were unlike any species they had encountered. Weak and small, yes, but unpredictable, cunning, and deadly. And their companion? The galaxy's legends about apex predators seemed pale in comparison. Somewhere deep within the outpost, the human slowed, listening. The companion's eyes glowed faintly in the dim light, alert, aware, ready. The message was clear. No one, not even the most advanced attackers, could underestimate the bond between the human and their deadly ally. The chase was over, for now, but the galaxy had just witnessed a force it could neither predict nor control. The narrow corridors of the outpost were silent except for the echo of their footsteps. The human moved steadily, crate secured, companion padding beside them with alert precision. Shadows stretched along the walls, warped by flickering emergency lights. Behind them, alien reinforcements had been delayed by the tunnel's maze-like structure, but the human knew this calm would not last. Danger was never far, and now it came from an unexpected source. A familiar voice whispered from behind a corner, soft and almost apologetic. You don't need to go any further. The human froze, recognizing the tone instantly. It was one of the officers who had praised them after the first test of might, the one who had offered cautious respect but now wore a subtle, unreadable smirk. What is it? The human asked, calm but wary, eyes narrowing. You've done well, the officer continued, stepping closer. Too well. Some of us, we can't let that continue. The galaxy doesn't forgive those who rise too fast. His hand flicked toward a small device, glowing red. Step aside or I will take your companion. I can handle it. The companion growled low, a sound that reverberated through the walls. Its silver fur bristled and eyes glimmered with intelligence and fury. The human's expression did not change, but their hand brushed against the companion's head in reassurance. I trusted you, the human said softly, voice steady, almost sorrowful. I thought we were allies. The officer laughed, a sharp, bitter sound. Allies? In this galaxy, alliances are only useful until someone stronger comes along. And right now you've grown too strong. He pressed a button on the device, sending out a pulse that disrupted electronics. Doors clanged shut, lights flickered violently, and a small energy net shot from the ceiling toward the companion. The companion reacted instantly, leaping high, twisting midair to avoid the trap, and landed with deadly grace. Its tail lashed at the officer, knocking the device from his hand with a precise strike. Sparks flew, lighting the officer's angry face, but he did not retreat. Instead, he lunged, pulling a plasma blade from his belt, aiming at the human. Step back, the human shouted, stepping between the officer and the companion. With a swift motion, the human activated a small handheld pulse emitter from the crate. It released a concentrated shockwave that sent the officer skidding backward, blades sparking uselessly against the walls. The corridor was tense, charged, like the calm before a storm. You see, the human said quietly, voice low, trust is a choice. And you chose poorly. The companion growled again, muscles coiled, ready to strike. The officer scrambled to his feet, eyes wide with both anger and fear. I underestimated you, underestimated it, he muttered. Without warning, the officer surged forward again, aiming for the human's side. The companion moved like liquid silver, intercepting him in a blur. Claws raked through armor, forcing the officer to stumble back. He reached for a grenade, but the human kicked it aside with precision, sending it clattering against the metal wall. It detonated harmlessly, sparks scattering across the corridor. The human advanced slowly, their calm a stark contrast to the chaos. "You can't fight loyalty and strategy at the same time," they said. "You'll fail." Their eyes locked onto the officer's, unwavering, sharp. The companion circled behind, a silent shadow ready to strike if needed. The officer hesitated, his hands trembling slightly. He realized too late that he had misjudged both the human and the companion. "No, this isn't possible," he whispered as the companion lunged again, knocking the officer against the wall with brutal force. He slid down, dazed and defeated, a low groan escaping his throat. The human knelt slightly, placing a hand gently on the companion's back. "Are you all right?" they asked, voice calm, soothing. The companion purred softly, tail flicking, its alertness unwavering. Together they surveyed the corridor. The betrayal had been sudden, shocking, but it had only strengthened their bond. They had faced a threat from an unexpected direction and survived with precision. As the human continued through the tunnels, the officer's defeated form left behind, whispers followed them through hidden vents. Aliens on nearby platforms would soon hear about the betrayal, and the story of the human and their companion would spread further, more chilling than before. Not only could they defeat beasts and machines, but they could also anticipate treachery, surviving even when the enemy came from within their own ranks. Ahead, a faint glow indicated the exit toward the open landing pads. The human glanced at the companion. "Let's move. More will come and we need to be ready." The companion padded beside them, agile and alert, senses tuned to every sound. Shadows moved in the distance, suggesting the next challenge was already approaching. The human's voice was low, almost to themselves. "They thought loyalty was a weakness. But it's our greatest strength." Their companion growled in agreement, a silent echo of that unspoken truth. Together they stepped into the open, ready to face whatever the galaxy would send next. Even as the sun began to set behind the distant spires of the outpost, one truth had become clear to all who had witnessed the betrayal. No human, and certainly no human's companion, was ever to be underestimated. The galaxy had just been shown that loyalty, strategy, and lethal precision could turn even a betrayal into triumph. The council's chamber loomed above the central city like a cathedral of steel and light. Beings from across the galaxy filled the massive hall, their forms diverse and alien, yet all eyes were fixed on the small human standing at the center. Whispers echoed off the walls, voices filled with curiosity, disbelief, and fear. Many had heard rumors of the human and their companion, but none had seen them firsthand, until now. A council elder, tentacles glinting in polished bronze, leaned forward. "We expected a weakling," it said, voice smooth but sharp, "a mere curiosity. Yet here you stand, surrounded by stories of destruction and survival beyond any known measure. Explain yourself." The human's gaze was steady, calm, and unshakable. The companion crouched at their side, tail flicking lightly, eyes scanning the chamber. Its presence alone drew uneasy gasps. Even the most powerful council members shifted in their seats. "I do not need to explain," the human said quietly, voice measured. "I am not here to conquer, to threaten, or to show dominance. I am here to act, to survive, and to protect what I choose to protect. My companion and I, we do what is necessary." A younger council member, its crystalline skin shimmering, sneered. "Necessary? You have destroyed our agents, disrupted our outposts, and survived traps that should have killed you. You speak of necessity, yet the galaxy sees chaos in your wake." The human's eyes scanned the chamber, calm and deliberate. Chaos is a tool for the unprepared. For those who understand strategy, foresight, and the strength of a bond, it is clarity. Their companion stepped slightly forward, low growl vibrating through the hall. Every eye followed it, every being sensing the silent warning. This creature was not a pet, not a mere ally, but a force of apex power that even legends could not measure. The elder's voice cut through the tension. "You claim survival and protection, yet others have died because of you. How do we trust such power will remain controlled?" The human crouched slightly, hand resting on the companion's head. "Control is not dominance. Respect is earned. Bonded strength is never a weapon against the weak, but against those who challenge us." The companion's low growl intensified, and its body tensed as if echoing the human's words with lethal promise. Suddenly, alarms blared outside the chamber. The council members froze as massive shadowy forms appeared in the observation windows. Rogue enforcers, massive mechanical constructs sent to apprehend the human, had arrived, their plasma cannons glowing ominously. Panic rippled through the chamber. The human did not flinch. "They think they can judge us without understanding the bond we share," they said quietly. "Let's show them." The companion leaped onto the balcony, claws digging into the metal as it prepared to strike. The human activated a small device from their crate. Pulses of energy shot through the floor, sending the enforcers staggering. Sparks and explosions lit the observation deck as the companion moved with supernatural speed, tearing apart the constructs with precise strikes. Council members screamed and ducked, many shielding their eyes from the spectacle. "Impossible," shouted one member, voice shaking. "No single creature, no human, could command such coordination." The human stepped forward, calm and unafraid, eyes scanning every threat. "You have underestimated us," they said softly, almost a whisper. "That is your mistake." The companion landed beside them, fur glinting, muscles coiled, ready for any further attack. The council watched in stunned silence as the room settled into tense stillness. Dust and sparks settled, revealing the human standing unharmed, companion at side, a symbol of lethal precision and unyielding loyalty. The elder leaned forward again, voice low. "So the legends are true. You are not merely a survivor, you are a master of strategy and apex force. Your companion, it is unlike anything the galaxy has catalogued." The human nodded. "And it will remain so because we are not tools of fear. We do not conquer for pleasure, nor do we yield to threats. We act with purpose, with understanding, and with a bond that cannot be broken." A wave of whispers rippled through the council. Some murmured respect, others fear. The human's presence, once underestimated, now commanded undeniable authority. Their companion shifted slightly, tail flicking, eyes glowing like molten silver, radiating silent menace. Even the most powerful beings realized that underestimating a human, and the creature they command, was a mistake that could cost entire fleets. The elder's voice finally broke the silence. "We acknowledge your strength, your strategy, and your bond. The galaxy must adapt its understanding. From this day forward, humans, and those they command, are to be considered forces of apex reckoning. None shall judge without considering the cost of underestimation." The human and companion moved to the edge of the chamber, surveying the assembly. A calm aura surrounded them, yet every being present felt the weight of their silent warning. Respect, awe, and a hint of fear had replaced disbelief. The galaxy had witnessed the truth. Raw size and strength were nothing without bond, strategy, and unflinching precision. As the chamber doors opened and the alien delegates exited, whispers of the human's legend began to spread. Every corner of the galaxy would hear of the duo who had survived the impossible, conquered threats both external and internal, and revealed the ultimate truth. Humans, when underestimated, could command forces beyond imagination. The human glanced down at the companion, silver fur glinting in the hall's fading light. "We did what we had to do," they said quietly. The companion nudged their hand, eyes bright, alert, ready for the next challenge. Together they had not only survived, they had redefined what it meant to be feared, respected, and unstoppable. And the galaxy would never forget.